All right, welcome to another edition of Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. Shout out to our producer, boy band John. What's up, John? Okay, for our sponsors, defendhawaii.com. Right now, if you use promo code ATBpod, you get 15% off all your purchase order upon checkout. Also, Detail Garage Hawaii, upon checkout ATBpod, promo code 15% off everything you order. So go check out both those companies. They sponsor us. Today, we have episode 23. I'm kind of excited for this one. I follow her content. She's a content creator, YouTube channel. She also has her own blog. Her name's Megan Taniguchi. How's it, Megan? How you doing?
Hi, Dad. I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. I'm pretty good. I'm kind of happy that you're agreed to come on.
I'm excited.
I think we started about the same time. I started doing my podcast and you came out with all your YouTube channel and content. So I feel like we kind of are growing together in this kind of situation. Like it was about the same time, right?
It was about the same time. So I saw that you were coming out with your podcast. And then I was like, okay, I need to, everybody's making moves. I have to make moves. So it's kind of funny how we did kind of start off at the same time.
Yeah. And like for me, seeing your stuff kind of helped motivate me too. Is like, yeah, it's like, I feel like people that are doing this kind of stuff kind of help push each other. And I definitely got the support from you. But I wanted to ask you, like, how did you get into this and why did you start doing this kind of stuff? And your YouTube channel has been pretty inspirational, and I know a lot of people are checking it out.
When it came to my YouTube, so I've always wanted to do YouTube. But back in the day, I'd say the thing that was the fad was, makeup tutorials, right? And so I was just like, I love makeup, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I'm passionate about or something that I can, see myself doing in the long run. So I told myself, okay, I'll come back when I find something that I want to do. So I'd say what pushed me to do it was this whole COVID thing, that's the number one thing. And because I had gone through something, so a lot of it was what I was going through and the time I was going through it. I talk about this in my About Me video, but when I was going through a hard time, I ended up on Amazon buying a whole bunch of books, thinking when these books came in, they were going to help me. Which,
like self-help books kind.
Yeah. And so I told myself, okay, this is going to be the thing, this is the thing. But really they give good tips and whatever, but I wanted to be able to relate to something, and say like, they don't talk about like the heartbreak. They don't talk about, the messiness of healing yourself. So I wanted to have something to relate to. And I told myself, okay, when I get out of this, when I get to a better place in my life, I want to be able to, help people, because it's hard to go through those times. It's hard to go through them by yourself. And we don't get a guidebook in learning how to, heal ourselves. So yeah. I told myself, I want to be able to create content that people can relate to, talk about things that people don't want to talk about is a huge thing for me. And, just be able to help people. So that's what made me want to really start my YouTube channel and my website.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I was the same way when like I had gone through some shit, and then I bought all these books, like, I think one was the Celestine Prophecy or something like that. And I was reading it. I'm supposed to experience this glow and all this stuff. I'm like, it's not working. I don't see shit. And you're right. A lot of times it's easier to grab some good content off of somebody talking about it versus reading it. And yeah. So you created the channel, and like, how's it been? Like, what? Because I watched some of your stuff, and you get pretty into a lot of different kind of things, and it's not just for women, it's kind of for everybody.
Yeah, so I was really shocked because I did want to create content for, just everybody in general. I do think a lot of people think, self-love or making yourself happy, I think they think the target audience is women, but shockingly enough, I get a lot of feedback from guys, and they tell me their situations, they tell me the problems they go through. So I like that, I like that I'm able to be that place for men also, because I think there is a stereotype with men where they think, we can't be weak, right? Or we can't feel a certain way. And so they're scared to tell people about those things. So I'm glad that I am able to help guys as well as, women also.
That's awesome. And guys definitely need a outlet, or at least to be able to kind of relate to somebody. Because I mean, for me, I went through some stuff where I had a custody battle and stuff, and you don't really like to talk to, like, guys don't talk to their friends about that. I mean, some do, some don't, it depends, but it's kind of hard, like you said, to show weakness. So like having guys be able to relate to your stuff, I can understand how that would be super helpful. I know I wish I had that kind of stuff when I was going through it. My therapy was drinking with my friends at the park. That helps too, though. So your channel's been how long have you been doing it for? Maybe since March? No, October.
I started I think my first video was November.
Okay.
But I actually started like looking into everything in August.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had Oh no, go.
What I noticed from you is you kind of did everything by yourself. And for me, I'm lucky. I have my producer BBJ. He pretty much makes me look good and sound good. But you do. No, I don't look good. I try to look good. It's your fault. But everything you do is all self-taught, right? Like,
yes.
So how did you even start figuring out how to piece things together?
So when it came to the YouTube, I did a lot of studying. So I would watch a lot of, bigger YouTubers. They make videos, about, how to get started on YouTube. And I also looked into like the equipment I wanted to buy. The content, I made sure I was like a month ahead in content. So I made sure to create at least a month's worth of content before I even started. So I kind of made sure I had all of my ducks in a row, before I even jumped into it. That's why it kind of took a while from August to November for me to be able to, even put anything out. But it's a lot of just learning and watching videos. But really, when it came to learning like the programs like Final Cut Pro, I was a little scared, but I'd say like back in the day, like when I was in intermediate, 7th, 8th grade, I learned Photoshop. I learned how to do like coding, like when there was like Zanga and Asian Avenue. Yeah. So I would even
MySpace.
I would learn how to do like the codes to be able to make like a website. So I kind of already knew how to do some of the things. So it wasn't so scary into learning how to do Final Cut Pro, but it kind of gets easy. Like you just teach yourself how to do it. You just watch videos, you ask for help, and you just learn.
That's crazy. I mean, they have courses in college how to learn how to use those programs and stuff.
I know.
And you just self-taught yourself that, and for your blog, you created a website, right?
Yes.
And that was all on your own. You just did it yourself. How long did that take?
So the blog, I bought the website off of, I think it was Wix.
Yeah, that's what I use. Yeah.
But that's easy, like you get to pick. It was easy for me because you just get to
don't say that, because I had a hard time with that. Like, I'm so proud of my website. I'm so proud of my website because I thought it was hard.
So I mean, you got to pick what theme you wanted. I mean, for me, it was a lot more simple than having to like put codes in and all that other stuff. So yeah,
it's definitely user friendly, especially now that I've been messing with it. But when I first did it, I was like, oh, and then I did a bunch of different things. I'm like, oh, I can do that. And then when I put it out there, I was like so proud. I'm like, oh, I made a website. And I'm like telling my friends, hey, you guys need a website. Just let me know. I got you.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, it's exciting. And to do it by yourself is pretty gratifying. You didn't have to get help or anything. But what I wanted to ask you, which I always see from your videos and stuff. And how do you get all your confidence? Because some of the stuffs you talk about, like you kind of put yourself out there and you
Mhm.
kind of pull back on the layers of your vulnerability, and that takes confidence. And I don't know, like it I understand putting yourself out there and stuff like that, but the things you talk about kind of take a lot of confidence. I don't know, how do you draw your confidence from doing that kind of stuff?
I think a lot of it had to do with getting older and not really caring, what people thought about me. So that was a huge thing. I got to a point in my life where I'm like, I don't really care. This is what I want to do. This is who I am. And you're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. So that's just how I am. I'm to a point in my life where I don't care.
I definitely can feel you on that. Were you always like that?
No, definitely not. I
Oh,
was the
really?
person who cared about every single little thing, what every person thought about me. So I don't know. I don't know what changed within a year and a half, but I just got to a point where I was like, I can't be a people pleaser. I need to just be who I am.
So this person was already inside you, is just like trying to find an avenue to let it out and
I
get
think
that.
so. Yeah.
I guess so. I guess that does come with being older and life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, it took me a while to be able to be confident enough to do this. Or for me, it was a big thing to do a project by myself. Granted, I have boy band John helping me, but usually I am working with a team, and it's probably the first project I did putting myself out there by myself. And it's scary. So I was wondering if you were scared too. Like for me, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
nervous.
I think in the beginning, definitely nervous, even to like put pictures out, people don't
Yeah.
know what a lot of pictures that I have, like I have to take myself. And then just to like post pictures or even, put myself out there, I was definitely nervous in the beginning. I was also nervous, like to have some people watch it and maybe, get backlash for it. But then I'm just like, if I have to hold back on who I am, then I'm not really doing what I want to do. I'm not,
Exactly. Yeah.
and that's how I look at it. So I'm not going to hold back. This is what I told myself I was going to do, and I'm going to stick to it. But
So what was have you experienced any backlash?
oh yeah, a
Like
lot.
what? Really?
Um, yeah, I mean, some people feel a certain way about some of my blogs or even some of my posts, and I'll get asked, can you take it down? But that's just not, if I have to do that, I look at it as I'm not being who I am. I'm being fake. I'm not able to get my message out if I have to hold back on what I want to do. So,
Yeah. But
and I don't
but
know.
I'm sure you get positive feedback also, right? And that probably outweighs the negative.
Oh, definitely. The positive so far has outweighed the negative feedback, but I'm very appreciative for everybody who, supports me. I think a lot of people don't understand that support when you do stuff like this is a huge
Oh
thing.
yeah.
It's so
100%.
big. And the littlest thing, like resharing a reel, resharing, anything in a story, people don't understand that that is a part of what you're doing, and
Yeah.
it helps out so much. Like one reel I made, I don't know how many people reshared it, but I don't know if it's because I had so many reshares, like I hit a lot. It got a lot of views because of that. So people don't understand that the support helps a lot.
Yeah, and it feels good because like when I started doing this, I was surprised how many people, like you said, reshared it or supported me or text me like, oh, you're doing good. And it's like, oh, that kind of stuff matters. Like you said,
Yeah.
like, and I find myself doing it to people that I know who have businesses or whatever, or that are trying new things. It's like any little bit of support means all the difference, especially when you're putting yourself out there. And like who knows what can happen. Like
Yeah,
you could
exactly.
be inspiring plenty people or girls that are going through same kind of situations you were. But it helps them get through it. And for me, knowing that you have this support kind of helped build my confidence up. I don't know if it was the same with you, but
Mm-hmm.
it just reinforced my confidence, and it was
Yeah,
cool to,
that's what it is.
yeah. And it's cool to experience it. For me, it was like, wow, you kind of figure out who your real friends are, and just it's pretty amazing. And then of course you get the haters, and I always say, like, if you're gonna hate on me, like, you still watching my shit, you still like taking time out of your life to like see what I'm doing. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, like, just, I always say, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. It's shocking though, you know, the amount of people that do pay attention and then they want to talk. It really is shocking because
Well, I can imagine with girls it's worse, huh?
yeah, I think so. I think girls get it worse than guys.
Yeah. So what's the worst kind of shit that you had to deal with?
I think recently the worst that I had to deal with is there's a lot of people who, it's shocking because you would think it's people you don't know, but it
Yeah.
actually turns out to be the people that you do know that you wouldn't think, right?
Oh.
So recently there was an issue with, you know, me posting certain things that I've been through, right? And still having the father of my son in my life, you know, still having him around. So I'm thinking to myself, why is that an issue? You know, because in my eyes, my private life is my business. So whatever I choose to do in my life shouldn't concern you, you know? And I think a lot of people were saying, this is the part that got to me is, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh my gosh, and not to me, but to this person, they're telling this person like, oh, you know, you traumatized her, she's scarred or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, you guys follow me and obviously you guys are not reading my content. You guys are not, you know, paying attention to what I'm trying to push out there because you guys are commenting on things that I don't talk about, you know, that I went through a traumatic time. I don't talk about that I'm scarred. I'm talking about the exact opposite. So it's funny to see that the people who talk are the ones who don't even pay attention. You know, they're not reading your content. They're not,
Yeah.
you know, they're not trying to understand you, you know? So I'd say that's the biggest backlash recently. Other
So
than like, oh no.
how do you handle that kind of situations?
So this one, normally I will ignore it. Like, if it's not
That's
that big
kind
of
of
a
a good
deal,
way to handle it, huh?
yeah. But I think because it was hurting the other person, you know, that person kept getting text messages or calls for every little thing I would do, you know, like a post, a story, whatever, you know, it was getting to that person. And they reached out and they told me, you know, it's really getting to me. And so I said, okay, you know, I care about you. I care about, you know, your feelings. I don't want people to misunderstand anything or think we're on bad terms. So I made a video. I think I left it on there for 2 hours just to, you know, set the record straight so people understand, you know, like there's no hate between us, you know, we care about each other. And I don't know, just let people know that there is no issue, you know.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I talked to you before about being a co-parent, and I myself have to co-parent, and it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world. And the main thing is, a lot of people are gonna talk, and like, friends gonna back you up, friends gonna back that person up. They always, like, with social media, like, oh, they did this, or I seen this person out with this person. And it's like, and we live on an island, so everybody knows everybody. I swear to God, I, like, people know I'm taking a shit before I wipe my ass. Like, it's,
Yeah.
that's how it is. And learning how to kind of navigate yourself through that, to keep what's important, which is your kid, as the focal point of everything, is not easy. And a lot of pettiness happens, a lot of gossip and kind of drama. And I realize everybody likes to create drama.
Yeah.
And it's like, people that don't even matter, or don't even have a point where they're involved in your situation, but um try to start shit, and then it becomes a thing. And for me, it was communication, and I think that's always the best. If I communicated with my ex, who I have a daughter with, and every time we communicate, we figure it out. And you got to communicate. The biggest thing of communication is listening. And what I learned is when I listen, I got to hear. I cannot just like listen to what you say and now I'm going to try to talk you out of what you're thinking. I got to listen to what you're saying and understand why you think or feel this way, and kind of find a happy medium how I think and that person thinks together, and then we come up with a solution. Before I'd be like, nope, that's stupid. You're all, that's wrong. Like, this is how you're supposed to think. And it took years of practice, but once you kind of get in the groove and you start to see things working out and you start to see your child kind of enjoying their two parents being cool, is kind of helps get the ball rolling. And for me, it's super beneficial for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's the same with you.
Oh yeah. I mean, now we're in such a better place than before, you know, like you say, the pettiness. And I think how things ended is what caused a lot of our problems. I never thought we would be in the place we are in today. I'm very grateful, because I don't think a lot of people who do break up and have children end up in, you know, civil situations. So I'm very grateful to be in the situation we're in now. But, you know, it's always, to me, co-parenting is always going to be hard, you know, but like you said, like communication it's the biggest thing. You need to learn how to communicate with one another and also respect each other, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's a good one. Respect.
That's a big one. So, you know, we have to learn that it is at the end of the day about our son. It's not about us. It's not about our needs, our wants, you know, he's always going to be number one. So I think as long as we stay on this track, you know, it's always going to be fine.
That's good. And it takes practice, and like there's always kind of rough patches or what, but like you said, if communication is good, then it's always workable. It's always fixable.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's cool.
Oh no, go.
It's cool. Like, you see that person involved with your kid, and then it's like you have the same kind of relationship with your kid, and I don't know, it's just kind of a cool situation, but different. You know what I mean? It's like I never imagined when I was gonna have a kid, I wouldn't be with the mom. So it's like it changes, and then now it's like, now this is the new normal, and it works.
Yeah.
But
I do think too, another thing, you know, on another post that I was gonna put out recently, is that we should normalize, you know, not breaking up, you know, separations. We should normalize it. I think a lot of it is put in our heads that we need to stick together, you know, for the kids.
Yeah.
Which I don't disagree with. You know, I think that you should fight for your family to a certain extent. But I think if we made it a lot more normal for, you know, people grow apart, right? A lot of us accept that, but I noticed that a lot of people do grow apart after a while, and, you know, making that normalizing, you know, like separations. It's okay to be separate, you know, you didn't fail as a parent. You didn't fail as a partner, you know, that's a huge thing.
That's true.
I just think that, I'm sorry, is my dog?
That's right.
Okay. I just think if we normalize it, it wouldn't be such a taboo thing. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I failed my family, right? Or I let my children down. But really, what the weird thing is that me and my son's father, we get along so much better co-parenting than we did together. It's crazy.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know, you think about it, you're like, oh my God, maybe we should have done this a while ago. But yeah, you know, we get along so much better just co-parenting, you know. But
that's pretty cool. And I'm kind of the same way. And it, like, yeah, it's just, if you think about it, not everybody's parents are together, and like a lot of people are divorced or split up, and more than not. And there's a lot of kids that have two parents in separate households, and it's not the end of the world like how I thought it was when going through it. It's like, oh shit, this is like, everything is bad. And then it's like, as you kind of go through it, you realize it's not that bad. And a lot of people out there have been through it or going through it. And I kind of am the same way with you, like how you help people. I like to help people that like dudes that are going through it, because I got custody of my daughter and it was different. Like, it wasn't like, oh, okay, dad, my daughter spends the most time with me. And it's like, a lot of dads that are going through it are so scared because they don't know. All you hear is the mom has all the rights.
Yeah.
And it like, that's what everybody tells you, and which isn't true. So it's like, guys don't know that. All they hear is they have all the rights. You're like, your kid's gonna be taken away, or you hardly ever gonna see your kid, and it becomes a situation where you get scared, and it just becomes like, I don't know what to do, and I don't know who to talk to, and it's not usually the case. And fathers have as much rights as the mom. It's just, you got to know how to kind of figure things out together, and it depends. It's crazy because when you're with your kid and nothing else really matters, it's just, you got to be the strong one, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, for guys, they don't really have much out there to help them with this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, I never did, but I definitely try to tell what I've experienced to people if they ask,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody else did it for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like with you, it's the same way, because a lot of local girls can relate to you, and there's not much content about the kind of stuff that you've been kind of talking about.
Yeah.
But you get pretty, like, you get into some crazy shit too. You know what I mean? Like into sex and like all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, oh shit, like, what am I watching? I used to there's this podcast called it's like a girl one. It's about sex, and it's like, oh, is she going in that route with this? Oh, what is it called? I forget what it's called. Oh, Call Her Daddy. You ever heard of that
I've heard of
podcast?
it.
Oh, so there's these girls, and all they do is they're like girls talking like guys about sex and all this stuff. And I guess it got popular on Barstool. It's called Call Her Daddy. And then so when you started talking about that kind of stuff, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's the route she's going into. But you kind of kept it more cleaner than what they were
Yeah,
doing.
I don't think I would go into very deep detail about those things. But I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know. I like to just talk about whatever, whatever topic. But a lot of, like the sex talk, I like to just put out there, like, I mean, it's okay to talk about, even with girls. Like you say, like, oh, it's like how guys talk about it. A lot of guys don't understand that girls talk about it in the same way that guys talk about
Exactly.
it,
That's exactly.
And a lot of times when I get together with my friends, we talk about it. People probably think like, oh no, they just talk about girly stuff. But no, we get into detail about a lot of, sex.
That's kind of nuts. Like, imagine, yeah. So it's like, what I'm thinking now is like, girls that I've been with, like when they talk about me to their friends, like, oh, I go around them, it's like, oh, what do you guys know about me? Like, what?
No,
Like,
really? No.
yeah. See if they treat me different or better, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's how girls are, right? Like, it's
Yes.
kind of no holds barred.
It's a normal thing. We talk about all kinds of things.
So when you go on your on your channel, you have kind of a lot of interaction. Like, you ask or answer a lot of questions that people have. How do you get them to do that? Like, you like go on Instagram and ask questions, or it's like submit any kind of.
Yeah, so I'll normally put a story out, and then, I mean, I get a lot of questions that have nothing to do, answers that have nothing to do with the questions. So I'll normally leave those out, but that's normally where I get a lot of the questions.
So much like crazy stuff do you get that you don't answer?
I think a lot of it is like asking me out on dates, like, and there's a lot that persists to like just want to talk to me, like that has nothing to do with. So I'm just like, oh, okay, that question's not gonna be included in that.
But I guess that's how it is with girls. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Probably
and
like,
then I think also when I got started, I got a little scared because I think I started posting some stuff on Facebook. And so I didn't know that people could call you on Facebook. Did you know
wait,
that?
people can call you?
Like FaceTime call
Oh,
through
really?
Messenger. Yes. So
Oh,
I'd
I
say
didn't
like
know
in the
that.
middle of the night, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I would get calls, like video calls. And I'm like, who are these from? You know, so for a moment there, I got scared. You know, sometimes I watch like where I record in my house, you know, or
Oh,
I just have to be careful sometimes because I don't know, you know, I think with girls, it's a lot more scarier because
oh
there are a
yeah.
lot of, you know, guys like that.
Yeah, ain't no girls like hitting me up at midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is kind of scary. And like, I'm sure you get like a whole bunch of DMs and like, because like you do, I guess, model, right, for your blogs and stuff like that. And you take sexy pictures and it's not like raunchy kind, you know what I mean? But I
Oh,
guess it could provoke a lot of dudes to kind of take a shot, I guess. I don't know.
I think it does. No, and
But
then,
it's like,
oh
go
no,
ahead.
you
Go
can
ahead.
go.
So it's
Uh,
like
oh,
you
no,
were,
go.
did it must increase more that you put all that stuff out there, right?
What do you mean increase more?
Like getting like hit on and DMs and all that
Oh,
kind of.
yeah, it's pretty bad. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but it gets kind of bad sometimes.
And you just got to filter it out.
Yeah, so a lot of it sits in that other folder, you know, like I have,
Requests.
yeah, that
Yeah.
folder. There's a lot just sitting there, not being
You should
read.
put them on blast one time just
Oh,
to.
no. Yeah.
The kind of ones I get are like from like Mahu's, like Mahu guys seeing if they could talk to me, or I'll get like weird ones from like Thailand or like um Philippines, like trying to talk to me. It's either weird girls or weird dudes. And it's like, how do you even see, like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I had a situation where a girl hit me up asking me if I knew this one person. I guess that one person was hitting on her brother and got him to, I guess, show a dick pic and was blackmailing him with it. And I guess it was my friend on Facebook, and she was asking me if I knew this person. And I'm
Mhm.
like, no, it's just a friend on Facebook. Like, I haven't like communicated with him. And it's like, wow, that stuff really happens. It's like they try. It was, I guess it was somebody was trying to pretend they were a girl and talked her brother into showing his dingling,
Uh-huh.
and then was blackmailing him with it. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, that's fucking
no.
crazy. But yeah, none of that happened to me yet.
Yeah, don't be sending nudes. I'm against that.
Oh yeah.
No
That,
nudes.
yeah.
That thing can
That,
go anywhere.
well, that too. And then like you said, if it like you send them to all your friends, hey, look at the guy's ding ding. Like
Yeah, you don't know who's gonna see that picture.
yeah. But I guess that's the new thing, right? I don't know. I guess that's the easiest way to hit on girls, I guess. That's one thing I don't like about the new society. Everybody can hide behind their computer or their phone. You don't like necessarily gotta go up face to face to meet people and have to take that chance. It's like, oh, this person is not answering my DMs. All right, I can just delete it and on to
Yeah.
the next. Versus getting shut down face to face. That's like way worse. So now that you're single, have you been like putting yourself out there? You been going out, or you just been kind of just focused on school and stuff?
Yeah. So I think like in the beginning, you know, it gets lonely sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So we would before COVID happened, my friends and I would go out a lot. So I would think, you know, I'm gonna meet somebody, I'm gonna meet somebody out. Then after a while I was just over it. You know, I was like, forget it. You know, if when the time is supposed to happen, it's gonna happen. And then COVID happened. And so I'm like, oh, well, great. Like, I'm definitely not going to meet anybody. So that's when I was like, you know what, just take this time. You know, you never know when you're going to get this time again with yourself, being by yourself.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it, you know? So I'd say like right now I'm just focusing on myself, you know, and I'm taking every bit of this time with myself as much as I can, you know, and when the time is right, when I'm supposed to meet somebody, then it'll happen. But
Well, that's what kind of I learned. Like, you cannot be good with somebody if you cannot be good by yourself.
exactly.
Yeah. But it
Exactly.
takes a lot of figuring out.
It does. And, you know, I think a lot of people jump into relationships. You know, I think we should figure out who we are as people first before we decide to be in a relationship with somebody else.
Yeah.
I think that's such a huge, huge thing, because then when you're going into a relationship and you don't even know yourself as a person, you know, and the other person doesn't know who they are, then you guys are constantly trying to have like this, you need to do this and that to make me happy, you know? And really, that ain't that person's job to have to make you happy. You need to go into it being a full person. That's how I look
Yeah.
at it now. You know, you should go into a relationship knowing who you are, you know,
Yeah.
being able to make yourself happy by yourself, not expecting somebody else to do it for you. But
Exactly.
such a huge, huge thing. You need to learn who you are first. That's how
Yeah.
I look at
And
it.
when you're with somebody else, you should be happy with them, not because of them.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's a good one.
Exactly.
I gotta write down. That's like a proverb. I think yeah, once you learn how to be happy with yourself, like it helps every relationship, even with your family, your friends, your significant other, even your kids. Like, your kids always want to see you happy, so it's like once you can achieve that, then kind of feeds off their vibe too. I mean, they feed off your vibe.
Yep, exactly.
They don't want to see mommy or daddy bumming out or whatever.
Yep.
So it's like, so now you're just kind of going through COVID, and you say you're going to school. Like, how's that coming along?
School's good. I mean, I kind of prefer to go in person because it's more interesting for me. You know,
Oh
having
yeah.
to do it online and then you have to self-teach yourself everything. It's like, it does. I don't even want to do the work. But yeah, so COVID kind of ruined the in-person thing, but
Yeah.
it's going good overall.
So what are you going to school for?
I'm going to school for psychology.
So what is your end goal with that?
End goal is I want my doctorate. So I want to be able to one day open up my own practice.
Like a psychiatrist?
Psychologist.
Okay, what's
Is
the
it different?
difference?
So psychiatrists, they're the ones who prescribe the medication.
Okay.
And I'm not against medications, but I'm not the kind of person who, I don't want to be prescribing people. I don't think that's the only route, you know?
I'm against medication.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think that's the route to really go, you know? And a huge, you know, thing with that is my grandmother is on a lot of meds. You know, she has been for depression for many, many years. And she became so dependent on it now that she thinks she always needs it. And I always tell her, you know, like, there's other ways to deal with it, but that's her way, you know? But so looking at that, that's another reason why I wanted to, you know, go into psychology is I don't want to be the person prescribing people medication and saying, oh, here, you know, go on your way. You know, I want to be able to help people with other, you know, through other things, you know, just, I don't think that's the way. So that's just a
So is
different.
that, so you would kind of still listen to their problems and stuff?
Yes. Yes.
Do you think that would like affect your like emotional state of mind, I guess?
I think
Like, I
that's
always thought like people who listen to other people's problems for a living, like, how do you not let it affect you? And then when you come home to your family, it's like, oh, I just listened to some crazy shit from my patients. And it's like, how do you kind of get that vibe off of you and be able to be in a good mood around your family?
I think
Or I guess that's why you're going to school to learn
yeah,
it. But
I'm still scared. I think about it all the time, you know, because I feel for people, you know, and so I'm
yeah.
scared that, you know, it is going to affect me. So I'm not too sure right now, but I guess I'll have to figure it out. later on down the road.
But I feel like you kind of enjoy helping people, right? It seems like that's kind of your life mission. I mean, you're already doing it with your videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've always known I wanted to help people, and I don't know, I just, my whole life, I'm just the person that everybody comes to. So I don't know. Yeah, I love helping people. Love it.
So all your friends come to you with their problems and stuff like that. You're that person.
Even when I meet people for the first time, and then like we'll start talking, and they'll come and spill out like, personal things, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I don't think that's normal for people, but it always happens. And then I'm thinking to myself, why do people think it's okay, for them to, there must be something about me that creates, like a safe place for them to feel that they're able to share that with me. So
you give a good vibe, and maybe you're easy to, like, you're a good listener.
yeah, I think so.
Do you get nervous, like, okay, what if I give the wrong advice?
Honestly, I tell them all the time, like, this is just what I would do, A lot of times I'm very honest. Like, I'll tell people, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you as it is. And a lot of times they don't like that, but it's like, okay, well, they'll come and ask me, because I'm going to tell you it as it is. But
yeah,
that's
I guess that's the way it has to be, huh?
you gotta have people like that in your life,
I know. Yeah, I got some friends. Yeah, I got some friends that are like that and just tell me straight to my face. And yeah, reality is always good than like sugarcoating anything.
Yeah.
So what do you do for fun when you're not like messing around on making videos and stuff like that?
Oh, you're gonna think this is so weird. I like to work out.
No, I like to work out. That's not weird.
Yeah, I don't know. People think I'm crazy. They're like, oh, you get up at 3:00 and you go to the gym for 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, that's my me time. I love it.
3:00 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
In the morning.
I don't do that. But I guess that's a good time to go. Nobody's there.
Oh, you'd be surprised. There's people at the gym at that time, but I don't know. It's just, at the time when I was going through like my rough patch, the gym was like my time for myself, and it cleared my mind. So I stuck to it ever since then. It helps my mental health, and it makes me happy. And you get to, look good also. So
yeah,
I love it.
Well, exercise always increases endorphins, and yeah, it definitely puts you in a good mood.
Yeah.
Like I try to work out as much as I can. But what else do you do?
Other than that, that's it. I mean, I do that, and if not, then I'm with my son. If not, then I'm taking care of my grandma. But a lot of my life revolves, I feel like, around other people, having to care for other people.
Yeah.
So the gym is literally just like my time where I just have me time. I don't got to be bothered, and I get to socialize. So well, before COVID, I like to go to Scarlet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was my spot. You ever been?
That used to be my spot when it was the Fix. Before it was Scarlet, we promoted there every Friday. So I really like that downtown vibe, and I definitely like that venue. I've been in Scarlet once to promote, like we were promoting around downtown, and we went in there, and yeah, I got hit on twice. And I realized like it was cool because I got a free drink, and then I got to meet some new people, and they met me at District after. So that was kind of cool, but it's just the aggressiveness I wasn't ready for. You know what I mean? It's like,
no, I know.
Like, even if I were to talk to a girl, I'm not aggressive. So when I got aggressively hit on by dudes, I was kind of, I would say, traumatized, I guess.
Oh, a lot of, yeah. Maybe it's more for a girl. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that enjoy that place. But
you know why? Because you go in there, nobody's judging. You do your thing. Like, you don't have to be, you can go in sweats and nobody's going to care. Everybody's doing their own thing. And then it's like, you don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about getting hit on. because
You're
yeah,
not a dude.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love that place. Everybody in there is so cool. They're so nice. That's
Yeah,
my spot.
that's cool. I think, oh, was it Lanai? Lanai was like had his food truck out there for a little bit.
Does he own some of like a part of it?
I think he does something there, but that's one of the reasons why I went in to see him. And then, yeah, I got food or something from him. But yeah, he was over there. But the venue is super cool.
Yeah.
And first Fridays, we used to rock that place. Yeah, it was good fun. So it's like Scarlett and working out, I guess. So since you're a mom, like, what do you do with your son? Like, how do you relate, like, with your son? Because for me, it's kind of hard. I have a daughter, and like, I'm not into girly stuff like that. So I kind of try to keep a fine line to keep her happy as a girl versus like what I'm knowledgeable as a boy to do. Like, is it the same way having a son?
I don't know. I think me and my son have a pretty open relationship. So I don't know. We talk about, he knows he can come to me for anything and everything, it doesn't matter. And I always tell him, like, you can tell me anything,
Yeah.
I mean, kids are still gonna lie,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've never had to worry about that. We're very, very open with one another. Very, very open. And I always tell him, like, however he feels, he can tell me. Like, whether it's gonna hurt my feelings or whatever it is, like, don't ever be scared to tell me how you feel about something.
That's cool. I'm kind of the same way. What about like activities?
Oh gosh. He just is all about his, what is that? The Xbox?
Oh
Fortnite?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
drives me nuts. It drives me so, I'm just thinking, like, what the heck? So all his toys are out. Like, he has no toys anymore. He doesn't play with toys. His thing is
Oh, that's
just
good.
gaming. And then, he'll ask me, like, oh, mom, do you want to learn? And I'm like, nope. I can't see myself sitting on a computer for that long playing that.
Well, like my daughter's trying to teach me gymnastics. I went through the whole doll phase, and like, oh, it's just like I'm not good at that girly shit. And like I forced myself to try and be, and it's like she's over there trying to get me to do flips on her monkey bar and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it's like I'm a dad, you know what I mean? I'm a dude,
Yeah.
like it, but I try. I don't know if it's like the same way for you, but yeah, you gotta jump on the Xbox and start battling them in
Oh,
Fortnite.
no. I mean, when it comes to like sports, like he plays baseball,
Okay.
he has to practice outside. I'll throw a ball with him, but as far as it goes, I'm not that great at sports either. So
But at least you try though.
yeah, I mean, you have to.
Yeah. So you guys have a pretty good relationship, and that's the main thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of honestly the truth too is you gotta listen to your kids also, or they're not gonna want to talk to you.
Yep. Exactly.
And you do gotta have a line where, okay, I'm the parent, but I'm also somebody you can trust and talk to. And it's like I'm kind of figuring it out now, because I don't want to be in a situation where my daughter starts hiding stuff from me. I mean, I'm sure she's not going to tell me everything or whatever, but I want it to be in a situation where she can and always feel comfortable with that. And I don't know how to do it, but I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like with a girl, for me is different because I don't know how girls think. That's why I watch your videos.
Oh yeah, I think girls and guys think very, very differently.
Yeah. All right. Well, shoot, we've been going for almost an hour. I think John can ask us the question of the week. Oh yeah, it's been almost an hour.
It's an hour already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fast.
All right. Question of the week is, what do you think are your 3 greatest strengths?
In life.
Yeah.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I'll go first. The 3 greatest strengths I have, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. I think one of them would be a strength that I have, and it's something that I want my daughter to have, is not to be afraid to take a risk or a chance. I've took a lot of risks in life. I did a lot of things that I put myself out there and took a chance, and some hit, some failed miserably, but I always learned from them. And I always wasn't afraid to try. And I think that's holds a lot of people back from reaching their dreams and goals. And that's something that I was never afraid to do. And that's something that I don't want my daughter to be afraid. So that's kind of, I guess, a strength that I have. I think my second strength is I can talk to anybody. I can talk to the lady at Safeway, and I can go to the mall and talk to just strangers. And I guess that is kind of what the aloha vibe is, right? You be able to show aloha to everybody. I feel comfortable doing that to anybody. So I guess that's a strength. It could be a weakness too, get me in trouble, but it's something that I feel comfortable, and I think that's a strength. Not many people can do it or feel comfortable doing it. Let's see. I think my last strength would be is I'm able to motivate my friends. Like, I can get my friends to do something that they're scared to do, or kind of help them through situations, or motivate them to be a better person. And I think that's a strength, and that's a good quality to have, because I see it in my friends, and I see their I guess capability and potential, and not all the time, but a lot of times I can figure out how to get it out of them. They do the same for me, but I know that I can get my friends to, I guess, be motivated to be a better person, or do something that they would not normally do. I guess that's a good strength.
Oh, I should have went before you.
Okay, what's your 3 greatest strengths in your opinion?
Okay, so in my opinion, I think my 3 greatest strengths. Number 1 is that I'm very forgiving.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like want to resent people or hate people, or they're like, you're
or
crazy.
Hold grudges.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think I'm crazy. You know, they're like, oh, why would you forgive? You know, but it's like, what is hating them or where is that going to get you? You know, besides you feeling like crap at the end of the day, and you're just carrying something around with you that I don't think you should. So I'm very, very forgiving, regardless of what you did to me, how long time ago it was, whatever. I always forgive. Second one is that I'm honest. Sometimes I'm a little too honest, but like I said earlier, I think that's what people need. You know, they need to hear honesty in order to grow. You know, if not, you cannot be babied your whole life.
Yeah.
And the third one I would say is that I'm loyal. Very, very loyal. If I am your good friend, or, you know, if I'm in your corner, that's it. You know, I'm always going to have your back. So I'm a very loyal person. Sometimes I feel like it bites me in the ass, but it's who I am, you know, and it's not something that I'm going to change, but those are my 3.
That's kind of cool. Like, so you say you're being loyal. Have you ever was in a situation where you kind of held it back because of like, say something caused you, like, oh, I was so loyal to this person and they fucking stabbed me in the back? Would that kind of make you more reserved to be loyal again? Or it's like, oh, I guess not, because you said you're forgiving.
Oh yeah, I think even if I still am, regardless, it's just, yep, it's who I am.
That is definitely a strength. That is a strength that I don't have.
But I do think that some people, you know, they take advantage of that. So that's when boundaries come in. You know, you have to create boundaries with certain people.
Oh, that's awesome. I know what I wanted to ask you earlier, which is off topic, but so you make all these videos and stuff. How long does it take you? Like, this is something that, like, I wanted to know personally, like, because you could have like a 10-15 minute video. Like, how long from start to finish does that take? Because a lot of people don't understand how crazy it is to create content, and then how to be consistent.
One video, I'd say it takes me, well, okay, sometimes I try to get 2 videos out in one day. But from the morning, like I start early morning, you know, so I'll start from like 8 in the morning and I will not finish until 5:30. Yeah.
And that's
People think that
editing and
like
everything.
you don't get it the first shot, you know, like you make mistakes and then,
Oh yeah.
you know, I mean, it's not easy. People don't see what goes on behind the scenes. So it takes me, I try to do videos like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
I try to get like all my schoolwork out of the way and then I'll do my videos. But I'll spend Friday, Saturday, Sunday, morning till night making videos. Yeah. Even
So,
reels.
oh yeah. I don't even think I do those.
Hard.
And like consistency gotta be the key, especially in this day and age. You get easily forgotten.
Yeah. You have to be consistent. If not, you lose your audience, you know,
Yeah.
so it's a
So
huge thing.
what has been your biggest gratification like getting into all this?
Honestly, it's when I receive like the messages through Instagram. Even on my blog, I'll get emails, but it's getting those messages where people are thanking me, you know,
Oh yeah.
for my content. And I cry sometimes, you know, I'm thinking, wow, I can't believe that I'm helping this person, but that has to be the greatest. It really is. Like, I would do it for free the rest of my life if I
That's
knew that I was
awesome.
helping people, you know.
Well, I'm definitely like kind of excited to see how far you're gonna grow. Maybe in a year we could do this again and see how much you've grown and like how much I have. Because I'm sure like just from the time you started till now, like things changed dramatically
Yes.
in how you do things. And yeah, it's kind of cool to see people from ground level just kind of elevate. And who knows, you could be on a talk show or like inspiring people all over the world. All right. So like how can people find you? Like they gotta come check you out. How can they find you?
So my Instagram, you want me to give names?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Give us your
Instagram
Instagram and all that stuff.
is Megan K Taniguchi. I really want my name back on Instagram. They won't give me back just the Megan Taniguchi.
How come?
I
Somebody
think,
else has it.
yeah. So it's Megan
Oh,
K Taniguchi. YouTube is Megan Taniguchi. And then my website is www.merakibymegan.com.
okay. And that's your blog.
Blog, yes.
So how do you come up with the content for the blogs versus the videos?
So I think I haven't posted in like a month. It's hard. You know, I think school took over and then I was like, oh, my creative block is out the door. Because a lot of times, like, a topic will just come to me out of nowhere and I can just write that topic down and start writing. It's crazy. I don't know
Oh,
where it comes from, but it just comes, you know? So I'm the kind of person where if what I'm making is not, you know, of, what is the word for it? Quality, like good quality, I'm not going to put it out, you know? So
okay.
I'd rather not put something out than put something out. But yeah.
And for us, you can reach us on ATBpod.com. That's our website from Wix that I created by myself, which wasn't easy. Our Instagram is Above the Bridge Podcast. Our YouTube is Above the Bridge Pod. Follow Boy Band John. It's BBJ8, the letter O8. Follow his Instagram. This was fun. I definitely want to do this again in about a year or so and see how far you've come and how much more people you inspired. I actually, what gave me the idea to ask you to come on our show was somebody asked me about you. And I
Really?
said, oh, she'd be a good person to have on the show. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't want to name names, but yeah, somebody did. And somebody that I don't know that would be watching your stuff. So
okay.
yeah.
Good.
So
I'm happy.
he gave me the idea to have you on the show. So that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, anything else you want to say or anything else you want to shout out?
no, I'm good.
All right. And then for us, we're going to take a break the first week of April. I guess the week after what is it, Easter? The week after Easter, we're gonna take a week off for vacation, and we'll have everything coming up until then, and then we'll start 1 week after that. So just giving everybody a heads up, because like you said, consistency, you got to be consistent. Right on. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and there's your dog.
My cat.
Oh, that's your cat.
Sorry, guys.
I just saw a furry animal and you said you had a dog. All right. Okay. Well, shaka for the cameras.
I don't even do shaka.
All right.